Hello, my name is Casey Freeman. I'm from the U.S. I'm here today to give you a mock lesson of what I would generally teach in one of my classes. I've taught English as a second language for 6 years, 1 year at a after-school program, 5 years at the university level. I worked at one called Ulji University, where I worked for 3 years, and one called Gachon University, where I worked for 2 years. There I taught basic English, grammar, vocabulary, public speaking, TOEIC, which is a standardized test, business English, so things like how to shake a hand, how to go on a job interview in the US, travel English, so what kind of English would you use if you were traveling, and I had a movie English class for a while. So I taught all different types of stuff, and I taught kindergarten all the way up to grandmas and grandpas. So I've got quite a wide range of people. And even in the same classes in the university level, some of my students lived abroad, and some of my students could speak just a little bit of English. So I want to show you how my classes generally go. So I'm pretty old-fashioned in the sense that I like to write everything on the whiteboard. And I just kind of check everything off when I'm done with it. So the beginning is just kind of an introduction. ND stands for New Dictionary, which I'll talk about. We'll have a review. TTT stands for Talking Time Tips. And then ACT is some kind of activity just to finish the day up. Okay, so let's get this started and learn some English, and hopefully I'll show you how I teach my lessons. So, hey guys, welcome to class. Thanks for coming in today. Did anybody have a good weekend? See any good movies? Have some fun? Okay, cool. All right. Well, get out your notebooks. Okay, it's time for New Dictionary. So remember, these are words that aren't in the dictionary, but we sometimes would call them slang. So a word like or words like hang out. Does anybody know what that means? Okay. You look up on Google Translate, hang out, and you say, I don't understand. But hang out means just relax. Or spend time with your friends. So maybe this weekend, I am going to hang out with my friends. And remember, if my handwriting is too messy for you, you can always just say, hey, Mr. Freeman, can you please rewrite that sentence or say what that means? So, John, what do you like to do when you hang out with your friends? Cool, thank you. Okay, the next thing is put two and two together. So sometimes we say, I, I like calculus class, but I can never put two and two together. Or, I think math is fun, but I can't put two and two together. Okay? It just means understand. Alright? So you could say, I think he's smart, but I don't think he can put two and two together. Usually we say he can't. And here's our text message, new dictionary of the day. BFF. Does anybody know what BFF means? Best friends forever. All right? So, Jimmy, who's your BFF? Where did you meet him? Mine? I met mine his name is Travis. We used to work together and we just became really good buddies. Okay. How about you? Where did you meet your BFF? All right, cool. So that's our new dictionary. Remember, those are words that aren't in the dictionary, but now they're in your dictionary. All right, the next thing is our main idea. So this is a review of last week, okay? So main idea, what was that? Okay, a main idea is what a story, a movie, a song, a poem is about, okay? So, do you guys like Twilight, the movie? What's Twilight? What's the main idea of Twilight? Okay, Bella is in love with Edward and Jacob. Okay. Who do you like? Are you Team Edward or Team Jacob? I like Team Jacob. It's big. So, that's what the main idea is. What is the whole story about? Twilight number 1 is all about Bella's in love. Twilight number 2 is all about Bella's in love. Twilight number 3 is all about Bella's in love. Okay, Harry Potter. What's Harry Potter the movie about? Yeah. Harry Potter is about Harry Potter learns magic. Okay? So, that's what the main idea is. So we need to use that, and we need to remember that, and we need to keep that. And this is going to be a big part of this class. And you're going to use this all of the time for your speeches, for when you write out, even something like an email. You're going to be using main ideas all of the time. Okay, any questions? All right. Any other main ideas you want to talk about or confused about? All right. Okay, so our next thing we're going to is TTT, talking time tips. Okay, so these are things that we're going to use when we're public speaking. Okay, and remember, public speaking isn't just for people who are teachers or politicians or actors. If you are a salesman, you're going to be a public speaker. If you are a police officer, you are going to do some public speaking. If you are an artist, you might have to do some public speaking. You can use these things in the USA, in Korea, in China. You can use these lessons if you're speaking English, if you're speaking Chinese, if you're speaking Spanish. It's all very, very useful, okay? So I'm not trying to waste anybody's time here. So talking time tips. So we've got a basic format for when we do a public speech. And it's very, very difficult, so you're going to have to pay attention. The first part is called the introduction. The second part is called the body. Okay? Just like your body. And the third part is called the conclusion. Okay? What does that mean? The beginning, the body, I would just call like the meat. Think of a sandwich. All right? All the important stuff is in that sandwich. And in conclusion, the easy way to say that is just the end. So whenever you learn a sport or a language or whatever, you have to learn the basics. This is the basics: an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. So, a very famous man said, when you're giving a speech, you have to remember that people forget stuff all the time. People aren't very good at remembering stuff. So you have to tell them what you're going to tell them. So that's what an introduction does. Then your body, you tell them. And a conclusion, you tell them what you told them, okay? So first you give a little preview, then you tell them what you're telling them, or you tell them what you're telling them, then you review. All right? Good so far? So the introduction is the beginning of the speech. So in the beginning, I'm going to use you need something called an attention getter, all right? And this is something to get somebody's attention, all right? This can be a joke, a a question, a quote, so something somebody said about your main idea, your topic. You can read something from the news. You can tell a story. You can tell some facts. All right? Don't tell too many facts because that gets kind of boring. But, oh no. Okay, so an attention getter gets somebody's attention. Now I'm listening. What happens when you go to a movie and the beginning is just, it's not interesting, it's boring, it's slow, okay? Do you want to watch the rest of the movie? No. So, the introduction is important, all right? So, now you're going to say what your main idea is, and you're going to give some kind of introduction. You can just pick one of these attention getters. You can tell a joke, you can read a quote, but just do one of them. Next thing is your body, okay? Body is just like your body, all right? Like I said, it's kind of like the meat of the sandwich. It's the big part. An introduction, let's just say, is 20-25% of your speech. A body is 50 or 60% of that speech. It's a big part of that speech. A body is also what your speech is about. So it's that main idea. Why? What? So you've got to answer some questions. You got to tell me some reasons why. Okay? If my speech today is about why Harry Potter is my favorite movie, I'm going to talk about why he's my favorite, or why the movie is my favorite. Okay? I can say, I really like the characters. I really like the imagination. I really like the story. Okay? So, you're going to be answering this. Even though this is the biggest part of your speech, this is kind of the shortest explanation of it. Okay? And then the conclusion is when we tell you, you remind everybody, this is what we talked about today. Okay? So, this is the end. And again, this is about 20 or 25% of the story or your speech. So it doesn't have to be very long. And it can be just the same as this. Not exactly the same, but you can tell a joke, you can end with a quote, end with a question, end with some news, a story, a fact. But think about a movie. You say, oh, I liked the movie, but the end, I didn't really care that much about. So your conclusion is something that you'll write at the end of your speech, or is something you'll say at the end of your speech, and it's going to be the last thing people remember, the last thing people think about, okay? So remember, you got your introduction, which is the beginning, body, which is the middle, and the conclusion, which is the end. Now, we're gonna just get together, do an activity. Today, I want you, let's just gather up real quick, like for pick one new person and one new friend and talk about places you would like to go on vacation. So where would you like to go? Why do you want to go there? Who would you like to go with? When do you want to go? Okay? Who's going to pay for all this? What are you going to see? All right? And think of a speech that you would give. All right? Any questions? All right. Fantastic. Well, there you go. There's Casey Freeman's lesson on how to give a speech. My talking time tips of introduction, body, and conclusion. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.